Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I was wondering, you just mentioned the fact that we're importing a third of our oil from foreign countries.
It's actually 60% of our oil comes from foreign countries, and it's a third of our current account deficit.
Okay. You talked about energy alternatives, but you know, I've listened to a number of politicians, and the one thing that I never hear is why aren't we developing the oil reserves that we have available to us? Certainly we're seeing some of our, in some cases, adversaries coming in and drilling for oil fairly close to our shores. You know, it's certainly not going to take new technology. Oil is roughly $93 a barrel now. If it isn't economically viable now, when will it be? I just don't understand how we can continue down the path that we're going without exploring some of the resources that we know are available to us.
You said it well. I can't disagree with you. You know, we've talked for years now about the largest reserve that we're aware of, which is in ANWR, in Alaska. The people of the state are very anxious to have it developed. They time and again say, please come in and develop this. It's a huge tract of land, massive area, miles of, but just hundreds, thousands of square miles. They just take this little tiny place and sink in the drilling here and pipe it across the nation or across the country and provide oil. That's one source. There's drilling in the Outer Continental Shelf. For me, that's very much part of the picture, that we should develop those resources. And I think the president has to be not just the commander-in-chief, but the communicator-in-chief, and to talk to the American people about the consequences of not developing our resources. There are a lot of people that say we don't want nuclear power. Okay, there are others that say we don't want to drill for oil. Okay, if you don't want nuclear power, and you don't want to drill for oil, and you don't want clean burning coal, then what that means is $100 oil, then it's going to be, well, let's put it in gasoline terms, $3 a gallon, then to $5 a gallon, then to $8 a gallon, then $10 a gallon. And by the way, that means it's going to be pretty tough living around here. And heating your homes, instead of costing, you know, $1,500 for a winter, is going to be $3,000 and then $6,000. Those are the consequences, and show people this is what it means. But we have to make those decisions today. A nuclear power plant doesn't get built in 2 or 3 years.
Does that mean that you're going to be advocating then that we do drill for
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am going to advocate that we drill for domestic oil on the Outer Continental Shelf and in ANWR. We'll do that in conjunction with states and the people of those states. But Alaska is the easiest. The people of the state want us to drill there. And the nation wants to drill there. Let's do it. But in this case, the Democrats are listening to extreme environmentalists that say no. Well, have they thought about the consequences of not developing any additional energy resources? The consequences are bad for our foreign policy. They're bad for our economy. They're bad for jobs. They're bad for our pocketbooks. I think as people understand that, they're going to say, do something. Look at the French. Right? The French are kind of a liberal people, as we know. And, well, they were until they elected this guy Sarkozy. We're pretty proud of what they did there. But 80% of their power comes from nuclear power plants. Clean nuclear power plants. They don't emit CO2. They don't warm the environment. And yet we sit here because of the extreme environmentalist lobby and don't have nuclear power plants. We haven't built one for so long that when it comes time to finally build one again, we'll have to hire the French to show us how to do it. And I'm only partially being facetious. They've got the technology. We can improve our technology. I think we can reprocess nuclear fuel so it doesn't present such a storage problem with better technology. But yeah, all the sources we can develop, we got to do that, because we can't be in a setting where we're beholden to people like Putin and Ahmadinejad and Chavez forever. Thank you. Yes, sir.